Now I know how.
Hey guys, it's Doom. This is gonna be my first video, so it's gonna be kind of weird. I'm no pro at editing or storytelling, so you have to bear with me on the cuts and stuff. So most of you probably clicked on this video for the thumbnail. Yeah, you're right. You saw it right. I'm playing Valorant in the background, and I was fortunate enough to get a key, and that was lit. It was a fun Cypher game. But for the other few that click for the title, then this is how the story goes. So it's middle school, and it's the very first day of 6th grade. The little 6th grade chumps are having a tour of the campus to know where to get to their classes. I was one of those chumps, a 5'6" Filipino with no idea what anything is. I didn't really have a lot of friends from elementary, since they either moved out or went to a different school. So it was kind of scary to be alone. I didn't know anyone in my classes. And middle school is a time when students are having different schedules. And so every class had different students in it. So that's just added on to the big old scariness of it. I was just so exposed to all these kind of kids in these different classes. I didn't know how to really react. So to me, it was so different. So first of all, I had to find my home room. I didn't know where it was until 10 minutes after the bell rang, since the room was literally located behind the school near the dumpsters and everything. It was literally a mess. I could not find it. It was so hard to find. But like when I entered it, I was greeted by my math teacher. I don't want to say her real name, so let's call her Susan. Now, Susan was the nicest math teacher there was. She was very tolerant, and she was like super kind to me when I was in her class. Like, she was the kind of teacher that let us play and chill with cards and stuff. After we finished the minimal homework and classwork we had, it was so chill in that class. It was so calm. But anyway, she was basically our instructor and told us how the school operated. It took like the whole class period to explain how the school worked, but after that, we were on our own to find the next class. And, it took like, another 10 minutes to find my class again, and, oh boy, it was my history class. And, there was quite a treat in there. So when I walked in, I was greeted by my history teacher, who was a flaming, homosexual Latino male with a passionate fire for teaching, and oh my god, I love that man. He was the most funniest and most engaging teachers there was. Like, okay, let's think of a name. His name, let's call him Christoph. And now, Christoph was a very fiery kind of guy.
No more charges left.
He would like scream at us every other minute in class and cuss us out if we did something stupid. It was scary at first, but yeah, I just really love that personality of his over time. It was definitely a different kind of teacher. It wasn't necessarily something to idolize, but it was something great to me. In the weirdest way possible. Anyway, his introductions to his class was like super calm. Definitely not like any of the other days I was in his class. He introduced us about the syllabus, and all that yada yada. But then he took me completely by surprise when he started going all aggressive on us. He was literally the kind of guy to slam his desk, just slam it, and then he would just be like, oh, he just stands up and just starts teaching like, and all that stuff. He was like, okay, sir, you gotta chill out there, just calm down. You could literally hear him screaming outside the room, trying to drill the information into our tiny 6th grade brains. It really took me for a loop, but it was so funny, and his tone, his personality was super memorable. But then after history, we had gym. Now, the first day of gym was a memory indeed. It started with all the students meeting the 2 gym instructors outside the gym. The teachers were a woman and a male. Let's call them Daquan and Susie. Susie was our 6th grade instructor, and Daquan was the 7th and 8th grade instructor. The gym operated differently than the other classes since it was divided by gender. So when all the students gathered by the gym, Susie took all the girls to the girls' locker room, and Daquan took all the boys to the boy locker room. All the boys walk into the locker room trying to find a locker, right? But then when we entered the room, I noticed that the room was divided again by grades. So the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders all had different sections of the room with their own lockers. So I walk into the 6th grade section, found my locker, and put my stuff in it. Daquan then called all the students to sit down so he can give us a quote-unquote
30 seconds
talk.
left.
So we all sat down, and I just, sat down awkwardly because being the socially awkward child I was, I didn't know how to sit down between two kids that were 4 inches shorter than me. But anyway, Daquan walked up to the front with this power pose, right? He put his leg on the stool and faced all of us with this serious look. Then he told us to remember this and this serious note. Remember this. I was about to take heavy notes on this. Daquan seemed like the most serious kind of teacher ever. He had that stone cold face. His demeanor was just superior, and he was athletically fit. So it didn't help him. Make him look like a huggable marshmallow. He looked like he could bench 200 pounds. Just shrug it off his shoulders oh man. Oh, look, do you see my guns, bro? Do you see my guns? My gigantic biceps, bro. Yeah, I've been working on them. Okay.
I hate visiting underground.
But then he started off with this advice, and this is what I remember.
Last round before the switch.
When you grow up, you're gonna have a girlfriend.
I have money.
When you get to your girlfriend's house the first time, you treat her parents with respect. This is the point where I started writing this down mentally, trying to absorb every piece I could get. And he went on saying and I quote, "But there will be a time when you gotta use the restroom in the middle of dinner. You gotta excuse yourself to get to the bathroom. And then once you get on the toilet and already took that dump, you're trying to wipe. But when you look over, there ain't no toilet paper. Toilet paper! You can't wipe your ass anymore without any toilet paper. Don't you dare think not wiping. Your post-dump ass is gonna stink up the whole dinner table. But you gotta be quick, or else they're gonna try and find you. So this is what you gotta do. You gotta find one of them hand-drying towels they got and wipe your ass with it. Clean it nice and well. Get all that poop out. And once you're done, you gotta find the trash they got in the bathroom. You're gonna dig all that garbage out they got in there, put that shit-covered towel into the bottom of that bin, and you cover it up with all that trash. Get out of that bathroom and not say a single word about it. They ask you the next time where their towel went, you say you don't know. And after the whole spiel, I kept that for life. So my impression of my gym teacher wasn't anything scary. Instead, it was probably he felt like the wisest person I ever knew. And I kept that story deep in my heart forever.
"30 seconds left. Sloppy.